Hello, kids. I am Priscilla, the circus promoter extraordinaire assistant. Percy, the wise guy, he had to have his wise teeth removed, so he'll be back next week. But my job is to help Percy keep everyone in line because the show must go on. As we continue with our series called The Bible Circus, we continue to amaze you and keep you at the edge of your seat. As we know, the Big Top is full of great entertainment, so whether we are talking about the circus or the Bible, they both leave us thinking, wowee, that's incredible. But the most important thing to know is that each week you'll learn a fantastic story from the Bible that teaches you tons about God and the greatest man of all time, Jesus. Oh yeah. Boys and girls, did you know there's a reason circus tents were referred to as the Big Top? They were huge, towering structures that stretched high into the sky. The big, tall tents certainly caught the attention of town folk who spotted them over the trees and buildings outside of town. And that was just one of the benefits of their great height. Circus tents hosted spectacular shows, such as the high wire acts and the trapeze artist, the men and women who fly through the air with the greatest of ease, doing death-defying spins and leaps and catches in midair. Fans held their breath every time a trapeze artist would let go of the bar, spinning through the air and reaching out just in time for the waiting hands of their partner coming on the other bar, continuing their flight through the air, high over the center ring. Now, today's Bible story is about a man in the Bible who vanished from this earth in an aerial maneuver that would make even the bravest of trapeze artists breathless. The man's name is Elijah, and for many years he served the Lord faithfully. And during a time when most of God's children, they had turned away from him, the time had come for Elijah to be with the Lord, but not before handing over his position to his successor, Elisha. God finished Elijah's ministry the same way it had gone on for years, with a miracle that only the Lord can make happen. So this week's tip for hope: as amazing as the wonderful plans are that the trapeze artists make, God has wonderful plans for those who serve him. Let's turn it over to Eve, the ringmaster, who is about to begin a very special interview for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, gather round and step right up. The Bible Circus is back to astound you with feats and sights strange and rare. Step right up and be the first to see what God has done for these amazing people. This week's ladies and gentlemen will give you one of the most death-defying aerial acts of all time. You've seen them before. It's the daring man on the flying trapeze. Turn your attention now to the elderly man of faith who flies through the air without a trapeze, the one and the only Elijah! Elijah, is it true that you flew to heaven not on a trapeze, but in a chariot of fire?
Yes, that is correct.
That must have been terrifying!
Not at all. The seat was actually very comfortable, and the driver used his left and right turn signals and obeyed all traffic laws.
What possessed you to take such a daring flight?
Fly right, plane boy.
It wasn't my idea. It was all God's plan.
And why did you say yes to such an amazing feat?
Well, truth is, I've been saying yes to the Lord my whole life.
You have?
Well, there was this. One time I challenged the leaders of the false god Baal to a contest to prove my God is the only God.
Wow, how did that turn out?
Great! God sent fire straight from the heavens. It was quite a sight.
That's absolutely amazing! How did you know that God would answer you?
God always answers his people when they call on his name. And, well, I called on his name.
He doesn't always answer prayer that way, with fire and flaming chariots, right?
True, but when you serve God with all your heart, he will do amazing things in your life.
What's next for you, Elijah? How will you ever top riding to heaven in a flaming chariot?
No way could I top that. Plus, I'm with the Lord now. It's up to my servant Elisha to carry on the good work that God began in my life. If he is faithful to God, I know Elisha will see the Lord do amazing things. The same goes for all of you. Serve the Lord and you'll be amazed at what God can do in your life.
Inspired words from a man who flew without a trapeze or even a safety net. In the life of this amazing man of God, we can see God has wonderful plans for those who serve him. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune in next week so you don't miss our next amazing attraction and wonderful Bible story. But for now, let's turn it over to Barbara Wawa and Shelley Grace.
Welcome back, kids. What a great story. I'm trying to imagine what that scene must have looked like for Elisha. I mean, 1 minute you're there walking with Elijah, the man who's been your mentor, your teacher, your friend, and the next you're waving goodbye as he vanishes up into the sky on a heavenly chariot on fire.
Elijah had performed many miracles with the help of the Lord. And when his time came, the Lord performed one more miraculous sign to thank his servant. And then God challenged Elijah to pick up where Elijah had left off. But the story isn't only about Elijah. It's also about Elijah who picked up Elijah's coat and went back to carry on Elijah's work.
That's true. I'm glad you had to say that part. God bless Elijah by taking him directly to heaven without having to experience death. Did you know that this was the first sign Elisha himself witnessed? And it was the first of many that he would get to see with his own eyes as he began his work as a prophet of God. God needs faithful servants like Elisha and Elijah. When we are faithful to God, we will see great things happen too.
So true, Barbara. Just think of it. Elisha used his cloak to part the waters of the Jordan River. And Elisha will use the same cloak to perform the exact same miracle. Just as his mentor had witnessed God doing amazing signs and wonders, so will Elisha.
I have a big question for you kids. How many of you would like to see miracles happen? I mean, do you think you are ready to see God do amazing things in your life, in your school, in your family, among your friends? We sure hope so.
That's so true. God gave us the Bible with all these amazing stories so that we could learn and grow and believe in Him. He loves us so much. As we choose to serve Him, we have the privilege of spreading the good news about Jesus everywhere we go.
That's right, Shelley Grace. God will do great things in your life so that you can point others to Jesus. Elijah rode to heaven on a chariot of fire, and now Elisha, his follower, in his footsteps, and he did many incredible signs and wonders. It makes me wonder what amazing things you will get to do in your lifetime. We all know that God has wonderful plans for those who serve Him. So get ready to do wonderful things. Well, kids, we'll be sure to join us next week as we'll report on another amazing Bible story from the Bible Circus. So, from all of us here at News Channel 7, the Galilean Gazette,
Don't throw a hat in the ring.
pick up a coat instead.